Hello, crafty friends. This is the Paper Chef here. Welcome to part one of my Warm Welcome Workshop series. In this series, we're going to be creating lots of cards and 3D paper crafts featuring the Warm Welcome bundle. Now, this bundle is available now at my Stampin' Up! Store, which is linked in the description of this video. It's not something I could show you in the catalog yet. I can't open the catalog yet. I'm not allowed to as per Stampin' Up! Policy. I'm just going to go ahead and show you the front of the catalog, though. January 5th, this catalog launches officially. However, this is one of those items that came out early. It came out early because in October, it was featured in World Card Making Day. I had so much fun on World Card Making Day, and even though they focused on 3 bundles, this is the only bundle I used that day, and I colored a lot of things. So one of the things I will mention that these little things that I colored that day, and I probably wanted to color them those same colors if I was coloring them today. So we'll be coloring those little arms a little bit differently. I like to mass produce cards, so I had a lot of those made. Okay, another thing I want to mention is that I'll show you those cards from World Card Making Day in a little while, and that this stamp here, I have already mounted for you because I don't want it to be wonky. So I want you to know how to mount this stamp when you first take it out of your package. So maybe after I'm done stamping with it, now that I know it's pretty perfectly mounted on there, I can show you how to do that. But the idea is, the concept is when you take that out, so you're gonna go into your stamp set and you take out that door, and then you have to sort of throw it on your grid paper or your table like that. Just kind of throw it down. Don't try to move it. Just kind of lay it there, and then sort of lay this die on it and make sure it's not too wonky, because if it's wonky, then the die will not cut it out properly, right? So the die has to be able to cut it out perfectly. I also think this kind of looks like a computer monitor. I hope that makes sense, but like I said, maybe I'll show you that part either another day or after I'm done using it, because I didn't want to make it wonky for this video. So in this introduction of my workshop series, I like to show you what's in my kits, all the things that have come in my kit. I like to show you what the dies look like and what the stamp set looks like, and of course, do the project. And then I always teach techniques. So this technique we're going to be doing is some blending when we create the door, and we're going to be doing some little coloring here for this. The background, I can just kind of mention how I did that, but it's really about the techniques. All right, so these are photopolymer stamp sets, all occasion, loads and loads of things. Now this little guy's here, open house, open heart, open mind. I'm thinking if you know someone who's a real estate agent, or you do anything like neighborhood committees, what is that group called? Community Watch or neighborhood open houses, and you do things. This is just great for when you have different open houses, or even when sometimes we have like a new catalog open house, or if you know anybody who's in direct sales, they're doing Pampered Chef or one of those other ones, Tupperware, those kinds of things, and we do it in Stampin' Up! As well, is they might have an open house for a catalog party, and these would be great for that. I also just think they're great for all occasion, anytime. So like this one here, I'm going to be sending to a lot of friends that I really want to spend more time together with now that I can. And due to closer proximity, I want to send them let's spend time together. So that's what we're going to put on our sentiment. This one you can put in the inside of any card. My door is always open for you. This one we can use for birthdays and holidays. You even have a little one there if you want to use something for, a new baby. I mean, there's just so many things you could do with the stamp set. The dies are fun. You have the dies that cut out the stamps. You have the heart, extra hearts. One of these hearts I think is a little too small to work with, but I still cut out a couple hearts with it. I'll show you. You have the little ones that cut out stamped images, and you have a couple that will cut out sentiments. But in your kit, I gave you a lot more things to use. You got a door that's already embossed for you. This cuts out the presents, the little gifts. These ones will cut out some sentiments like that. These are little ticket shapes, which I love. And then you have the numbers. We can use those for birthdays. So as I think of some occasion birthdays I'll be needing cards for, I'm going to be cutting out those numbers. I gave you little pieces of foil in your kit. And this one's also great, this one here for sentiments. Gave you little pieces of foil so that you could, make some extra little numbers here, for birthdays and stuff. All right, so that's your introduction. Let's get on with it. This one we need this little door. All right. I want to start by taking a piece of basic white and inking it up with some Memento black. We'll just use some pieces here that'll fit through this Stampin' Cut emboss machine. So when you have a stamp this big, you want to ink it upside down, like so. You're going to tap, tap, tap. Because it's so big, you can't just try to fit it on the ink pad. And then I'll stamp it on the mat first and see on the grid paper if I have a good stamped image. Sometimes it's good to use some silicone matte underneath there too. Nope, it still needs a lot more ink, and I think I'm going to go ahead and put that silicone matte underneath there. That might help a little bit. I almost left it all inked up, and I was like, no, I need to show them how to ink it up too. Because I was like, it was working good. Okay, pretty good. And I think that has to do with the fact that I'm using like a plastic table. It's not very flat. We're going to try to go for it. It's only paper. It doesn't matter. I'm going to try to go for it. Okay, hold it there for a few seconds to try to get the ink to absorb. I'm pushing on that silicone. Okay, pretty good. I'm happy with that. All right, let's do another one for good measure. And I'm pretty good with that stamped image. And I'm going to actually do the blending before I put it through the die cutting machine. Because then you have like an extra bonus of having the little rectangle in the middle blended for you as well. Oh yeah, that came out even better. Ooh la la. Happy, happy, happy. All right, let's get some blending going. Now you want to blend in colors that coordinate with your paper. So in this case, I was trying to use some ink color papers. I was working with the Tea Boutique, and the Tea Boutique has a lot of ink colors in it. So these, I did some pool party blending, which I've been doing a lot with the pool party blending. I actually lost I had this Fresh Friesian, and then I couldn't find it, so I then started saying, well, maybe I could do a light hue of Orchid Oasis, but it came out too dark. So what ended up looking pretty good are these two together, Parakeet Party and Tahitian Tide. So what you want to do when you blend, you're just going to get yourself a stamping block. And you're going to use the stamping block to put some ink on it, right? So, like so, okay? And then I'm going to do the same for the Parakeet Party. Get a different stamping block and put some ink on it. That just helps me control how much ink I'm blending with. So now I'm going to take my blending brush. I can get rid of the silicone matte now. I don't need that anymore. Tap, tap, tap. Okay, and then you can just sort of tap into your blending, and then you can just sort of go like this. Okay, so tap, tap, tap. And you're just tapping, that first blob off onto the mat so that when you start blending onto your door, you're not getting a big blob of ink on there. But if you do, who cares? It's only paper. And you can use the other side of your paper as well. Okay, so you want to blend half of that. Kind of first saw this done. I mean, I've been doing this for years, but I'm saying I first saw it done on the door by the concept artist who was presenting on World Card Making Day. And I'll show you, I think I used Mint Macron that day and Fresh Freesia to blend my door. So just two light colors came out cool. And so that's what inspired me to just keep making doors like that. I'd like to blend in a circular motion. Now, if you don't have blending brushes, you're going to be excited to know that we're having smaller ones, like not just these ones, but smaller ones are coming out as well. So I'm excited about the smaller ones. But you can always use the sponge dauber, and I did include a sponge dauber in your kit. All right, we're done with that. But I definitely don't want to like wash that off yet, because I can, after this video, I can make some more doors, and I'll still have some ink there to use. It'll stay pretty wet. So I'm just going to save that ink block. Now let's take this one. This is the Tahitian Tide. Tap, tap, tap. Right? Tap, tap, tap. And then you're going to get in there and circular motion, and just blend down toward the middle. And the colors then just kind of touch and overlap. So you can use a sponge dauber. That's the ones that you put on your finger. And that's what's included in your kit. So and you know, if you don't have anything else, use a sponge. We used to sell sponges, but I mean, if you're desperate, use a kitchen sponge. But you need some kind of way to do this blending. This is what I'm talking about with sponge dauber. You have one included, and then you'd have to wash it off, let it dry. But you had one included last month's kit as well, which was, we just finished the Cheerful Basket Workshop series. This is like so therapeutic, you guys. It's just so fun to do this. Oh, I love it. I'm just going to leave that little bit of, I kind of like how the little white part overlaps. All right, so there you go. I'm going to flip it around. Hope you can see that. I'm just getting the rest of that Tahitian tied. I might need to do another dip. But if you have to, you can use the sponge dauber, but still block it off like you normally would. I'm just doing another dip there. Yeah, I like how this is coming out. All right, so our door is colored. I'll shut this. The sandwich for the die cutting machine, when you open up your die cutting machine, is your base plate, plate number 1, which is your platform. Plate number 2, which is your thin die adapter, which you always need when you're using metal dies. One bottom plate, which is a plate number 3. And then we'll just use this plate number 3 because it actually has the number on it. You can see that better. And then we're going to have a top plate number 3 as well. So what we need is the top plate that's not so scratched. See? So that's the sandwich for die cutting. And with the paper in between. When I say sandwich, it's like you're making a sandwich. That's the layers that you're putting on there. So now you're going to put this over the top. Now, like so. And you're going to put the little door inside there at the same time. And it's best to use washi tape for this next part. Or, in my case, I'm looking for the washi tape that was just here and it's not. So what I'm going to do is, if you have to use regular tape, just put it on your clothes first. Put some lint on it. See, I put some on this tape so it doesn't rip my paper. And you're going to put your little door there. Or light tack tape or washi tape, right? So you're putting that rectangle in your door. Now the bottom part sort of touches. That's where I'm going to put the tape, right over the top of these two. And then the top part does not. So put the door in first. And if you can't see that, we'll do it again at that other angle. See, so these two just kind of touching each other. And then this part. Yeah, I think I need to be over the top. See, that way you can see it too. It's just better when you're over the top looking down at these kinds of dies that do this. So you're going to be able to use this die again. What I want to do is put like a little piece there. Yes, I just bit the tape. There we go. All right, I think that's good. I think it's not going to slip. And you're going to crank that through. And hopefully it doesn't get too wonky. And if it gets wonky, it could be your stamp and die not lining up. No, I think it's okay. It's just that the angle I'm looking at. We will try it. And if it doesn't work, oh, and it's not cranking through because on the back of the machine, I had to open up the back. So there's the stores, this die cutting machine stores with these raised up. And I forgot to open the back. So I was like, why isn't it not going through? Okay, so you can use your rectangle for lots of things. Ooh, I'm so happy it came out. All right, so I don't need to do another one for you, but if it wasn't going to come out, we were going to do it again. But I am going to leave this tied. Well, you know what? I might just do it for good measure because you know what? I'm here with you, and that only takes a minute. But I use those taped together is what I was saying. Put the door like that. It's already taped together, the doors to the metal part. So I'm very happy with my door and how it came out. But now I'm going to go ahead and make 2 cards. Then I'll have 2 cards done. See? So this is exactly what we want. Your door looks like this. And the card's pretty much done. I mean, that's pretty much the hard part of the card. The rest of it's easy peasy because we're just going to do the little hands, a couple other things, color in the hands. We don't have to do any more coloring of the door. It's already colored. We just need the let's spend time together stamp. I'm going to stamp that in black as well. Memento black. Oh, 2 for 2. I'm 2 for 2. All right, good. So now let's take the middle part of this paper. We'll just use this little white, any white parts we find, and we're going to go ahead and put the silicone down and go ahead and stamp the little arms. I didn't want to stamp those before because I was already doing the door. I didn't want to do the arms and the door at the same time. So you got to stamp the little arms with Memento black. Put that one over there. Just getting things out of the way here. And okay, we need just go ahead and put it flat side up. Tap, tap, tap. Test the arms. All right, with the little coffee cups. Okay, perfect. They look good. Go ahead and stamp that a few times in the areas. Okay. All right, good. So we have that. Now we're just going to put that through. I wish when they give you like these little dies, they'd give you a few more of them so that you can cut out more stamped images at once. Because like I do use the ScanNCut a lot, but not for this kind of thing. Not when I have the dies and not for this kind of die. Because they're not enclosed, but still. Like when something's enclosed, I love it because I use the other machine. But these kinds of things that aren't enclosed, or when you have to cut out that exact door on the inside, it's better to use a die cutting machine for those kinds of things. Not to mention, like I said, when I have the dies, I use the die cutting machine. So we're going to go ahead and crank the little arms through. All right, so now, there they are. And we'll go ahead and do that one more time, and we'll color those. That one looked like it got blurred a little, so we'll do this one up here. Because I slipped on one of them. I slipped when stamping one of these. We're gonna hide these behind the door too. It's like they're reaching through the door with the coffee cups, so they're kind of hot. You're not gonna see the ends there. A little bit too much white, looks like. So put this. Keep reusing your tape until it falls apart. Now this little one could also fit through the mini StamPin emboss machine. We're going to have an amazing special for one of those. If you don't have any Stampin' Cut emboss machine, in January we're having an amazing special in which you'll be able to get a mini one. Okay, so there we go. All right, now let's do this. Let's talk about, let me just tilt the camera here and say hi to you guys and also talk about coloring and show you a few different ways to color this. So, I'm trying to figure out which button to use to tighten it. I'm going to zoom in there and color. When you're coloring, you can use many different tools. And this is what I used earlier. I used the different watercolor pencils earlier. But now that I'm using the in-color colors, I'm going to show you a different technique. And I'll also use the blends a little bit, but I want to show you how to use the blender pen. So I'm going to go ahead and you can just take actually, I'll just use the mat. You just take a blender pen and you're going to color with the blender pen. So let's say we just pick a few colors that we want to use. I don't know, crushed curry. Crushed curry is a good one to use with the blender pen. The reason it's a good one to use is because they don't make a marker for it. All right. I'm looking, I found my Wink still, which sometimes I have to use as a blender pen, but not the pen itself. There we go. All right, so even though it looks kind of dark, there's really nothing on it. It's just kind of, you're just going to open up your crushed curry, and you're going to dip in there, and you're just going to color with it. So it's basically a way of using your blender pen can just take any ink off of any ink pad, and you can just color with it. It's super fun to use. So I'm just going to make the little stripes. And then to wash it off, and this part's going to be tucked underneath, so you're not going to see that part. But to wash it off, you just go like that. See? And it gets the color off. I always start with my lighter colors and then do my darker colors. So let's tie in the Tahitian Tide. I'll tie in that color and just kind of go like that. Okay, so you can just see how easy it is to take. So this is when, right now, like I don't have all my markers with me, and I don't have all my blender pens, and I don't have all the colors. So this is a way of like, but I did have my in color stamp collection. So this is a way of just taking any colors I did have and just instead, when I don't have markers, I just take one blender pen and I just keep coloring with the same blender pen. And when you use the Tea Boutique paper, any of the ink colors and crushed curry will coordinate. Okay, now that's, to make it lighter, you just keep coloring with it. So if I want to color this mug, it will be lighter. As the ink starts drying up. All right, but I think it might be easier to use the blends now at this point. I just wanted to show you that technique. Okay, let me get and zoom back out. Now I'm going to just use the blends for the rest, because the blends, after all, are much easier. Plus I have skin tones. But I just wanted to show you that blender pen technique, because I'm all about using techniques in this workshop series. So we'll do a couple skin tones here. We'll make one hand using the 1000. I'm not sure which one I'm using where, so that's why I'm just kind of opposite. And then we'll use one hand with the 500. Okay. These are skin tone blends, so that's how you can get a lot of different skin tones, and it's nice. I tend to use the 500 a lot because it's in the middle. The numbers go 100, 200, all the way up to 1,000 in increments of 100. So we have a skin tone collection in the annual catalog. Okay, so we have the little skin tones, and now we can do some other stuff, like maybe, well, we know fresh freezes in our project. Well, it was. So let's see. This is a fresh, oh, that's a Highland Heather. Let's see if one of these is a fresh freesia. Flirty Flamingo, that's what I do. Highland Heather. Thought I had fresh freesia. Here it is. We'll use fresh freesia, dark fresh freesia, because we know that's going to work with this project because of the cardstock. All right, I'm going to tie that color in again over here with the stripes. Okay, and I think I'll do it over here too. I'll do this cup. And I'm going to do that handle. This is a really tiny area to color. If you mess up, you just use what's called the color lifter. And the color lifter helps you get rid of those blobs when you mess up. And I think I'm going to lift that color up a little. Oh, I don't think I can. That one was not an alcohol marker. All right, let's see. I might do something a little bit inside here. That little tea bag. All right, and then this one I'm just going to go with, no, that's not petal pink. Let me think. I'm going to go with a So Saffron. Oh, not for that. I guess we'll do So Saffron over here with the stripes. And I guess I'll do the mug So Saffron. So Saffron's a neutral color, so it's going to match anything. And then I need something over here to tie that in. All right. I think I might use a mint macaron, or pool party. Something like, what's this? Here we go. Here's a pool party. We'll just do a pool party just to get it done. All right, so now we have these. So now we're going to glue those into the back of the doors, of which are right here. So let's pick which door we're going to use. Let's say, I'm going to go like this for my door. I'm going to say, wait, I have to look at the card. So maybe about in the middle of the door. We're going to kind of glue that under a little bit. This little hands that are coming out. Then we're going to put the whole thing on a white piece of paper. So I just need a little dot. Let's see. That will look good. That one will look good. I'm going to use this one. So all I'm doing is I just want a little bit of glue, just like right there. Right? And right there. And we're just going to put that on under the door. So right here. Okay, push down, but it's on a silicone mat, so it should come right up. I'm going to lift it up, flip it around, and then I'll do the glue, and I'm going to put it on. Oh, good. I see Diana. Thank you, Diana, for ordering this workshop kit. All right, you're going to get to see what act surprised when you get it, Diana, because you're going to get to see what's in it, except for something special that my mom made. And that is something I'm not going to show you on this channel, but do post it in the VIP group when you get it. I always put something, especially in my kits, some kind of surprise. Always have a surprise for the kids. All right. So what I need, I don't know if I have the paper to put this on, so I'm just kind of looking around for this little pieces of paper. So I don't have to cut them again. And then I could tell you about these little white pieces. I'm just making sure I have them. I think I have to trim them down a little bit. I don't have the exact ones. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to take your pieces of paper. You want to put your door on the paper. So I'm going to get out a trimmer. One moment. Okay, so over here, you're going to make it 3 inches wide, right? 3 inches wide by 4 1/4. 3 inches by 4 1/4. I'll write this on the mat. Okay. Whoa. Oh, no. See, I already got ink on the back of that one. All right. No biggie. It's only paper, so we're going to get this little piece. You have to kind of do this, or the white part. If you just put this right here on the background, it's kind of a busy background. And you're going to do that. All right. So that's how you do it. Then you're going to take a piece of twine. I'd say about 1 foot of twine. Linen thread. When I say twine, I mean linen thread. Just get behind there and make a little cute bow. It's so easy to tie a bow with the twine. I guess if I cut the other end of it, it's even easier. So it's about 1 foot. And you have a yard of this. You have a yard of linen thread in your kit. So if you still want the kit, I will open it up for one more day. But then I have to move on to my ScanNCut course I'm developing for absolute beginners. It's called the ScanNCut Absolute Beginner's Guide, and that's what I'm working on. So I can't do kits endlessly. So when I do a deadline, I have to kind of stick with it. Because I do kits, I do workshops, and then I also do a ScanNCut as part of my business. A lot of stuff I'm doing, and I have to juggle a lot of things. So I have to have a schedule to be most efficient. So you're going to put that little bow like that. And then you're going to die cut out a heart. And you're going to stamp onto this little part. I want to show you how I got the let's spend this together. Let's spend time together. So you're going to go in and you're going to get your let's spend time together. And stamp that. And you're going to get the rectangles that we cut out. So take this rectangle, and there's what you're going to do. You're going to take the rectangle and use it like that. So it depends on where you want it on your card. So since this already has a lot of parakeet party, I would use the other side, which is Tahitian tide. And you're going to do this. So stamp right onto this door that came out, right? And of course you can do the other side as well to use for the other card. But this is like the perfect width. This little door is the perfect width. I was going to make little banners, but then I thought, oh, I'll just use this little door to make the sentiment because it's the perfect width. And then I take your trimmer and just put it in there and just trim it off. Easy peasy. Oh, that's the one for the other card because that's that color. Flip it around. That's why I do two at once. In fact, I would do a whole bunch at once. I can get two more sentiments out of there. And then you're going to get your little dimensionals, mini dimensionals, and you're going to tack that on. You'll pop that up. All right, I need to clear off some. I'll just go ahead and put that, just because if I don't do it right now, I'm going to totally lose it. Then I want to just get into the next part. So I'll tell you where I got the paper. When I open up the kit, you're going to see where I got the paper from. And there's two kinds of papers for these cards. One I used, let me see, this one, I used Tea Boutique. And the other one I used a new celebration paper. I just kind of overlapped it like that. And then I die cut out a little heart out of the same paper. The same paper, I die cut a heart out of the same paper that I used for the background. And that's how you do your card. Throw a few iridescent jewels, I guess they're called, iridescent rhinestones on there. And that's how you get this card. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Let me make some room. So I hope you like this bundle. I mean, it's pretty easy to use. It's kind of like the door was a little mysterious when I first saw it. And I was like, what is going on with that door? But it's not mysterious anymore. So I don't even know if this is the whole kit, but I always like to spoil my customers with the kits. I do. And I just want to show you, I don't sit there and cut it so you can only make one card and all this stuff. I let you decide how you're going to color coordinate and how many cards you're going to make. So you could make 2 cards with this piece of paper. So you're going to get, just for example, you're going to get fresh freesia in your kit. I'm going to open this up to show you what you get in your kit. I'm just making sure I'm not getting ink all over my stuff because this is actually getting mailed to someone tomorrow. So in your kit, let's start out with the cardstock. When you get a workshop kit from me, you have to be in the U.S. to get a workshop kit from me. Right? So you'll get lots of cardstock that you can use that coordinates with the paper I'm giving you. So you have Fresh Freesia, Pool Party, Polished Pink, Evening Evergreen, Real Red. Real Red's going to be for some Christmas projects if you want to do some, because I gave you some Christmas paper. Basic White, that's for the inside of your cards, and for this part, you're going to need more white than I give you, but I'm giving you a sampling. Shaded Spruce, Granny Apple Green. And when you flip it over, I want to make sure this doesn't get stuck on anything. Shove that down back in there. Flip this over. Crushed Curry, Blackberry Bliss, and Creamy Caramel. And wait, this is a little piece of Retired, and this is just extra little piece for you. Blackberry Bliss, this goes with Design a Daydream. What did I say? Crushed Curry, that goes with Tea Boutique, and Crumb Cake. Okay, so you're going to get all these things to go with your projects. All of this, at least 7 pieces of current cardstock plus some other pieces. Christmas time, so you get some extra treats. Little peppermint spoon. This was the peppermint spoon, by the way. My team member Rhonda told me about these. These are in the Dollar Tree. And you cut the back apart so that they're sealed. Some hot cocoa. This little marshmallow, I got the marshmallow from Buc-ee's. I bought a bag of marshmallow. I got a couple bags of marshmallows from Buc-ee's. It's a good pit stop when you do road trips. This is German chocolate. That's the Germany. I got that from Aldi, the German grocery store. And a couple Hershey Kisses. So that's and then I got these from Dollar Tree, and they do fall apart. I don't recommend this bag. Use Stampin' Up! Bags. They don't fall apart. And then we have some other goodies, and you're going to get something from my mom that I'm going to put some of these goodies into. And then you're getting lots of embellishments in this kit. And I've labeled everything, and you get twine, a sponge dauber, and some sequins. Then you're going to get T Boutique specialty paper, no, not specialty, T Boutique designer series paper. I'm opening this up so you can see how to make the card we just made. Because I don't want to mess with this because I'm doing kits right now. I don't want to use the piece. I don't want to use another piece because I might need it. There's only 4 pieces of each in each pack. So this piece of paper came out of here. This is T Boutique. You're going to get 12 sheets. You don't need 12 sheets for my cards. You're going to have loads of extra. Save this because there's something coming out with citrus in the new catalog that you can use that lemon piece for. So here's the piece. It's the lattice work from the T Boutique designer series paper. So see how the fresh freesia goes with this? And the heat and tide and the crushed curry. And then you'll get some specialty papers. This is a piece of Natural Touch specialty. It's great for making your door with. And a piece of mother of pearl specialty paper. So that is part of your kit. And then you get other, I don't think I'm going to open up each little bag for you because you got to have some surprises. And plus, I don't want to make a big mess on my table, especially when I need to mail this. However, I do need to show you this next paper here because this paper, Dandy Designs, is something that we just used for the second card. This card here is using the Dandy Designs. I thought I had one already open, but c'est la vie, we'll open it. We'll open this one. Dandy Designs is a special celebration paper that you can get when you spend $100 in my Stampin' Up! Store in January. So you'll be able to get this paper for free when you spend $100. But in the meantime, I'm sharing my stash with you. Dandy Designs. You can see the fresh freesia and how it ties in there. You can see the pale papaya and lots of coordinating colors and calypso coral and mellow mambo. And so there's some paper. And then I gave you some Christmas foils because we're going to do a couple Christmas projects. I gave you some dimensionals, some vellum to do for some layering, and some former celebration paper, which is now no longer available. Some foiled celebration paper no longer available. Okay, here's some Christmas paper that's a bonus that I did because it's Christmas time in this kit. So I gave you Whimsy and Wonder specialty paper, which you can no longer get. It's no longer available. And Sweet Stockings Designer Series paper, which is also no longer available, but it's in your kit. So it's a specialty paper. Look how great that's going to go with our little gift stamp. And we can make some little treats in this series. And then here's your Sweet Stockings Designer Series paper. That's where your Evening Evergreen comes into play. That Evening Evergreen cardstock, we'll coordinate with that. All right, I don't want to open these up, but I die cut all this. It's a total labor. Love my kits. I die cut about 14 shapes, I believe, from the Stylish Shapes dies and the Layering Circles dies. So you'd have many, many pieces to write your sentiments with. Also inside here is a craft note card and envelope, a regular medium-sized envelope. Inside the middle is a little treat box that when assembled looks like this, and it's going to fit the little door, the inside of the door, very easily onto it. Not the door itself. I mean, the door was bigger, but this rectangle will fit right onto this little treat box. Masking paper, it's a special paper. We'll learn that technique about masking. That's all in this little package here. I don't want to open that one. Design a Daydream, it's a special host set. And the host sets I had to pay $30 for before they come out. Later, they're going to be $18. But I did order the new host set as well of paper for you guys. But what's nice about the host packages is they come in 48 packs. So this is called Design a Daydream. Look how fun this is, and look how great it's going to be for your little card projects. Way more than you need, because I feel like it's better to give you extra than to cut it down to the exact size of your project. And then we have Celebrate Everything Designer Series paper. So yes, this is all part of the same kit. This is my workshop kit for the warm welcome bundle. You have Celebrate Everything. This is a special paper you can only get as a host reward when you spend $150 or more. Same with Design a Daydream. But I'm sharing it with you. And it's year-round paper. We've been using it over and over in my YouTube series. Okay, I give you some black cardstock so you can make some boxes with it. And you can make shaker cards with window sheet, Whether we actually do a shaker card, we always try to do a shaker card in every series. But what I'm saying is, if we do or not, you still have your stuff to make your shaker card. That's a window sheet, and that's the adhesive sheets, adhesive strips, foam adhesive strips. Okay, there's so many fun things in my kits. So you get lots of things. So if you, and of course, like little tea and some more ribbon samples. So there's ribbon over here. On this one, I gave you some fresh freesia ribbon because fresh freesia coordinates with our projects. And then I gave you some other kinds of ribbon as well. So 4 other ribbons. So you have 5 yards of ribbon total, not to mention several yards of twine. So I think 9 yards total. A yard of each twine, several yards of ribbon. All right, I'm going to say hello and finish off by showing you the cards I made on World Card Making Day. And if you want to get this kit, just look in the link below this video and click on, it's called Tiny URL. Click on that URL and you get the workshop kit. All righty. Thank you all for coming. Terry P., Lisa Tabor from Critters Ink Designs from Ontario, Canada. Lynn McFarden, Darlene May from Ohio, and Deborah again from New South Wales. She gets to watch my videos from the other side of the world. So cool. Cynthia Ford, good evening. Thank you, Terry, for your comment. Charlotte, yes, you ordered the workshop. Charlotte, thank you so much. And I'm going to definitely... Okay. So you also ordered an apron from my mom. Okay, cool. So I have to check out the apron order as well. And sometimes, like, my friends get to add an apron to their kit, you know, if mystery aprons, or sometimes they pick a specific apron. Hello, Melissa from Texas. So on World Card Making Day, I made these cards, which are similar to the cards here. So I'm showing you the cards that inspire me. This is what they showed us when they made it. They made 2 note cards. We used fresh freesia, and we made our own little banner, and I just added Wink Estelle to the banner. So for this one, I used soft seafoam and fresh freesia to do the blending, or it could have been mint macaron and soft seafoam. I mean, mint macaron and fresh freesia. I'm not sure if I think it was soft seafoam, but it could have been mint macaron. What I did is I took the projects that they gave us, and we used the little colored pencils for these little arms and stuff. So that's why I had so many extras made. And you can see how I made extra hearts. I don't like these little hearts that came in this kit. I only like the big heart. I like the big heart better. It's well defined. But you can see how I used the twine. Then what I did is I took what they did for us, and I made a bigger one using the Timber 3D embossing folder with the mint macaron. And that way I made it into a full-size card, an A2 card. So I like this one the best rather than the note cards, which are harder to mail. But you could put these in with things. So those are just all kinds of ideas. So this is Dainty Designs, Designer Series paper with a pool party card base. All this stuff is in your kit, and the linen thread and everything. And so are the iridescent rhinestones. This one is the Tea Boutique paper with the fresh freesia cardstock. Okay? And the way I did the cards is they went like that. Okay, so lastly, I just does measurements real quick. I'm not going to open up the mat. I'm just going to use this. We'll just use a pencil. So our card is going to be 11 inches wide. This way, 11 inches. And then it's going to be 4 1/4. Because we have an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. Okay, and you're going to score the card at 5.5. So this is just something I always do. And then this part in the middle is the basic white is 3 inches wide by 4 1/4. So that's the white. It's basic white. It's called basic white. The DSP is easy too. You make another rectangle, 5 1/4 by 4. That's the DSP, like the Tea Boutique DSP. That's your only measurements you need, and then you're going to cut out a heart. So that's the measurements for the card we just made. And thank you, Deborah. Yeah, so that's all. That's all there is to it. Hope you enjoy this. I hope you'll order this kit and follow along with me during the month of December as we create projects with the Warm Welcome Bundle. That's all for now. This is the Paper Chef. Have a great day.